So as you can see, I am here with my good friend, my brother in arms, Mr. Omar Shabbir. And today we're going to dive into how Omar did it. 12 months ago, Omar was, in fact, you just joined the activation method 12 months ago. But, you were in a position of struggling with anxiety. It was rubbing off on your kids, hiding in business. There was a lot that was going on for you. And obviously, over the past 12 months, you've been able to not only overcome that, but really do it in a way whereby you've had some great wins as well. So let me just check that the settings are all working properly here. 1 second. Just diving into the group again. So I want to make sure that you are on this. Let's see. There's a little bit of a delay in Facebook whenever you... Hey, there we go. Perfect. Right, Omar. Mr. Shabbir.
Yes, Mr. Matthews.
How are you doing today?
Absolutely fantastic today.
Yeah?
Brilliant.
Why?
Yeah. Oh, just been a great end to a week. I've had some amazing news from work. Good sales are up. Things are looking good. Spent time with the girls, about an hour since I picked them up from school. And yeah, I'm just feeling good. I'm so excited to be here. I'm just really looking forward to it. I went and got myself a haircut and a shave and extra dapper for these guys out here.
Yeah, nice. Well, I like it. It suits you. Bear with me 1 second. I am just going to change. Oh, Cameron Yarbury is on with us live, and so is Grant. Let me just
Cameron.
Shut this blind because it's blocking out my. That's better. Brian, how dare you avoid my call, Mr. Anderson?
Oh.
Right then, let's dive in, Omar. So, Omar, I want you to fill these guys in on where you were, 12 to 14 months ago. What was going on in your life, in business, with your wife, with your kids, your health, yourself. Just paint the picture of where you were, just to give these guys a bit of insight.
Yeah, well, I don't like to go back to that point, but I will for you guys. Probably the worst point of my life. I was at a point where everything was led by fear. Even driving down the street.
What's fear?
Just being
fear?
Scared.
You mean fear?
Yeah, sorry.
Southern accent. I couldn't understand what you said.
Well, they're confusing the listeners from a northern accent to a London accent. They're all thinking, "What's going on there?" So it's a right laugh for everyone else.
So yeah, you were scared of everything. Basically, you were driven by fear.
Yeah, fear, afraid. Just going to use the word afraid. And it led me to a point where I just felt that everything around me was starting to crumble, when indeed it wasn't. Everything was still the same. I'd physically feel the walls caving in on me. I felt my business wasn't good enough. And then I'd start looking at my marriage, my relationship with the girls. Because before that, I was just a straight up hustler. People wouldn't see me, and I would just literally...
What do you mean people wouldn't see you?
Well, my family wouldn't see me. I'd be up and out the door before they wake up, and I'd be home when they're asleep. And it got to a point where my wife would leave me little post-it notes saying, it'd be nice to see you on Tuesday or something like that. And I thought, wow, and it was worse before that, as I've shared with you guys before. My wife's water broke about 9:30 in the morning. It was a Monday, and I was like, okay, are you all right? She goes, yeah, fine. So cool, I'm going to work. And she's looking at me like, I literally drove to work, and my father drove her to the hospital. That's the kind of guy I was. She looked at me, and that look in her eyes was just the worst thing ever. It bothered me then, but I just still felt that I had to do what I was doing. Because of that, I've now, obviously, I live with the fact that I never was there to see my children enter this world, which is a great privilege for a father to have. And it only happens once, right? Well, per child. I have 3 daughters, twins. I wasn't there for that birth either. And that was, hard work. We can only, as men, imagine. I was that kind of guy, this only talk to me if I'm going to make any money off you. If I'm not going to benefit from you, don't really want to know you. and then constantly thinking, what can I do to make money? Someone else is making money. Or what are they doing? How are they doing it? Why are they doing that? How can I do that? It got to a point where you just think to yourself, you want to do 1,000,001 different businesses because you see 1,000,001 different people being successful in it or making a bit of money here. And I was literally chasing the money. And it's something that actually came out even at the money mindset reset and in Marrakesh, you know, the way I was with the money and the way I was speaking. I still got those traits in me, but yeah, but I still, you know, I know how to control it. You know, I'm not a dick about it. Let's just say that way I used to be. I was selfish. I felt that I was selfish, but I justified my selfishness by saying I'm doing it for my family. You know, I'm going to go out and hustle. It's for my kids. So even if I don't see them, even if I don't hug them, even if I don't spend time with them, but I'm making money for them. You know, in the future, they're going to thank me. That was my mindset. I'd get to a point where when I hit a downturn, when I just literally, if something doesn't go well at work, then I feel like a complete failure. I'm losing everywhere. Oh, my kids don't want to play with me. They'd rather play with their uncles, my brothers, or they'd go to the seaside with another family than with me because they didn't know me. You know, I was just dad, a title. I wasn't dad, the person.
Yeah.
You know, and that hurts. And Tim, you know, it's the greatest feeling in the world when you become a parent. But, you know, when you don't get that love back from them, it kills you. It really does. You know. So yeah, I was that guy.
What did you used to do? Did you just ignore the fact that you didn't get love from them? Or how did you handle that?
Yeah, I just felt, okay, they're not loving me because I'm not spending time with them. And it was more of a transaction. Okay, because they're not doing this, it's more because I'm not doing that, they're not showing any love towards me. So then I thought to myself, well, when I get to a point where I can buy them things, and you know, it's literally, this is a true story. You can call my wife up and ask her. The kids were messing about, coming over to me. I literally handed them money to go away. That's who I used to be. I was like, here's some money, go away. That was my thing. And my wife's like, what do they care what money is? What's wrong with you? You know, I was just like, just take them to shop, just take them away, or just, you know, I need to focus here. And really, yeah, it was that really nasty place. Really nasty place.
Oh. And what do you think caused you to act that way?
I reckon, and I still think I am slightly, a bit of a control freak. I have to be in control of everything around me and everyone's feelings, and I don't want to annoy her by not doing this, by not doing that. But I'd still be annoying them, but I'd justify it. Well, I'm doing work, so it's fine. You know, I'm bringing the money in. And I would just focus on that side of it. I wouldn't really go in to a point where they're about to tell me that there's a problem. I'd keep it at arm's length and move on somewhere else. I remember once my wife trying to start a conversation about something quite important. There was the girls' immunizations, their MMR vaccines and things, and I was like, I've got to take a call. And I literally walked out of the room and I had no call. I just didn't want to get involved in that. I was like, that's your department, you handle it. And I almost departmented my family, you know, and it was like, yeah.
Like delegated it to your wife almost.
Yes, basically, yeah. And it was, you're in charge of these things. That's you. Don't talk to me about me. If you've got a bill, hand it my way or put it on my desk. It was almost like that, you know. She used to say to me all the time, I'm not your secretary. I don't work for you. Don't talk to me like your employees. You know, it was that kind of, relationship.
So how did that affect your sex life?
It was pretty much, I mean, after we had the kids, it kind of went downhill. But I mean, we're kind of brainwashed that once you have kids, it's the biggest cock block. You're not going to get any. But that's not true now, because now it's a completely different case.
But back then, what you acting this way and compartmentalizing your family and almost treating your wife like your secretary, how did that then affect your sex life?
Well, it was basically pretty much non-existent for most of it. It was just like, okay, I felt that I had to buy things to get in good books, and then I will be rewarded with some intimate time. Maybe I'll take her out for a slap-up meal at a high-end restaurant and give her some nice jewelry, and then I'll be able to get some, and then I'll go off and to work again. Yeah.
I think that's a cycle a lot of men get stuck in, right? Thinking that, one, they're going to compartmentalize the family, leave it to the woman, almost treat her like the secretary, if you will. And then, it's almost like buying sex. It's almost like treating your wife like a hooker, even though, you're paying for the meal, you're paying for the gift just so you can get some.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how to get it. Well, I won't even say that you don't know how to get it. You're not doing the things to get it because you want to. You're just doing it because you just want to get laid.
Yeah. And that's what it was.
I was there in my last relationship, for sure.
Yeah.
So I think, a lot of, in my opinion, it'd be interesting to hear your take on this. In my opinion, a lot of men get trapped in this kind of cycle because they've been taught that all they need to do is go out there and make money. When they make money, the life will become easier. Everything will fall into place. People will respect them. All the problems will go away. They'll be able to pay for the holidays and the home. And that's what the wife wants and the kids want anyway. They just want money. So I've got to go out there and make the money. And I think that, I know you said it was been a control freak that caused that for you. But I think before you were a control freak, there was, like with all of us, a belief that was driving it. It was that what I've just described there about money. Was that similar for you? Did you encounter that?
Yeah, absolutely. It was more of a race of you got to be the man. You've got to be the one that is everyone looks to, and especially me growing up in my household, pretty much labeled the golden child, have that as well going for me. It was all a bundle of things which just made me just go into this race. I'm literally in a race. You wake up, you put in your running shoes, you start running. You're always. Then you go end up eating crappy food. You put on weight, you get ill. You ain't got time for anyone, and the cycle. Well, I think every single person in this group knows the cycle.
And what did you try and change it? Because obviously, you're in it. You know how you're treating your wife isn't working. You're not getting laid. She's telling you to stop treating her like a secretary. Your kids aren't giving you any love or affection. Everything's about work. You're avoiding conversations with your wife. So what did you try and do to break this cycle?
Well, I thought, okay, let's go on trips, but my trips will all be around work. Even my honeymoon, Tim, I had meetings in Malaysia. Well, yes, I had scheduled meetings at the hotel, in the lobby bit, and that's what was happening. That is what I would like. Okay, honeymoon, let's go to Malaysia. It's a beautiful island. I'd sell it to her. I'd literally be selling her something, but I've got a hidden agenda, which is a meeting or something to do with my work. Same goes for trip to Turkey or trips to Dubai and Middle East or whatever. It was always around work. Be like, go out there. We'd have this couple of days in the holiday. Be like, right, I've got a meeting now. And she'd just look at me like, so she'd be in the hotel room all day long, and I'd be out working. It's just not a holiday.
Wow, knowing what I know of you now, Omar, this is all quite hard to believe. Sat there with the money, giving it to
the missus.
Oh no, I believe you. I believe you. But knowing you now and knowing what you stand for now, how you treated your daughter, how you used to treat your daughters, and how you used to treat your wife and the hidden agenda, and just basically buying her love and sex, it seems so far away from the Omar that I know today. I'm really shocked by this, especially with the honeymoon.
Wow. That was absolutely true.
So what else did you try? Because some guys, a lot of the men that we come into the activation method have tried like therapy, and it's not worked for them because they sit in that room for an hour, sometimes with a woman, and they're left questioning, how much does she really get my problems? She's a woman, not being sexist, but I'm a guy. Yeah. How much does she really get my problem? And even if it's a man, although they get some insight in that hour, they usually leave in the room. So as soon as they leave the room after the hour, they're straight on the phone, doing deals, solving problems, and back to the same old way of behaving until the same time next week. So some of them tried therapy. Some of them have read a few books, or downloaded a few audibles or whatever, watched YouTube videos. None of it's worked for them. So did you try anything yourself to try and get out of this cycle before joining the activation method?
So I felt that everything around me wasn't happening, especially in business. I felt that my sales were starting to dip. Things around me aren't going the way I want them. And it's because I'm not good at running the business. All these problems in the marriage and with the kids and everything is all around the business. That's how I was thinking. So I threw myself into business courses and things like that. And I remember being part of a group which was all about sleeping 4 hours a night.
What?
And 4 hours sleep. How I
think Mike was talking about this, I think, in the Brotherhood. I think he tried this too.
Yeah. So you reset your body to a point where you just need 4 hours sleep, and you just you kick your ass all the time. And it's oh mate, it is ridiculous, right? And so I threw myself into a world of, yes, I need to improve, but I need to improve for the business. It was never ever Omar needs to improve as himself. I might have listened to a couple of books here and there, but again, it was always with the agenda of how can I be better at business, never about me as a person, starting with me.
And I think you mentioned a really valuable point there. I think a lot of the men, when they get to us, that they've tried business coaching. They've always tried business coaching. They've spent a lot of money in business coaching, but what they realize is, holy shit, I actually don't have a business problem. At first, they think that they have a business problem because they think that every area of their life is separate and it's not touching. And they think that they can compartmentalize it. Okay, family goes in this box, wife deals with this, I make the money, I pay the bills, and that's cool. I get laid, perfect. Business is over here, and I do the work there. And, if I'm not performing there, well, cool, I can shut it off and I can go back to my family. But health, self, every area is linked 100%. And what you realize now is that, how you were treating your daughters, the transactional nature of that relationship was part of your problem in business, and also part of your problem with needing to feel like you wanted to control everything and getting anxious and having panic attacks and watching as that affected your kids, and your kids started to take on those panic attacks as well. Business stagnating, because the reality is, how you do one thing is how you do everything. All areas of your life are touching, right? And I think usually when the men come to us, they've reached that point of trying everything outside of them, applying stuff to the business, going to the therapy for themselves, sometimes even the marriage counseling. But it's not a holistic, strategic approach. It just doesn't work for them.
No, it doesn't. And thing is that it's easy to point the finger at different things. Remember the old saying, got three pointing back at you, because it's trying to say it's you, it's you, it's you. Start with yourself, which obviously now I know. But back then it was like, no, that must be wrong. No, that must be wrong. That's not happening because that's, so on. This client's not buying because of that person. And, it gets to a point when you realize, when it dawns upon you, that light bulb moment, that shit, it starts here. That's when the uncomfortable big smile comes on. You're happy because but you really want to punch yourself in the face because you've been such a dickhead, and I've seen every single person at all the 5 alpha resets that I've witnessed go through that, and it's enjoying to see, that switch moment. Yeah,
it is. The penny really drops, doesn't it? It's like, holy shit, I can't believe how stupid I've been. At the last alpha reset, one of the guys there, it was hilarious. By the end of it, he realized the reality around his problems and what to do to fix it. And he'd been in marriage counseling. So I said, look, are you going to stop the marriage counseling now? And Arthur said, well, hang on, Tim, who instigated the marriage counseling? Because if it was his wife, and he's now going back from the alpha reset saying he's all fixed, she might be a bit wary of that. So you may want to keep the marriage counselling. And he turned around and said, no, Arthur, it wasn't my wife. It was me.
Wow.
I was the one that said, we need to go because there's something wrong with you. It's you that should make my life easier. And if you would just do these things, then I would feel better. I'm the one making the money. I'm the one going to work. I'm the one dealing with the stress. You should be there to make my life easier, and you should just want to have sex with me.
Mm-hmm.
And when we realized the truth around the whole situation, what had been driving his behavior and how to fix it, as well as every area of his life, that was when the penny dropped. It was a great moment. Great moment.
Wow.
So describe then life now.
Oh, life now it's peaceful. I am chilled. I mean, it has been ever since my alpha reset, which was in December last year. I have had a few ups and downs, because that just shows that things aren't perfect.
As long as you're trending upwards, right? You know, you're gonna have ups and downs. You're a human being.
Yes.
You're always growing, trying new things, failing forward. But
the best part of it is that if I had these down points that I've had in the last, 8-9 months, a year ago, it would have taken me a long time to get back up again. The fact that I'm catching on to it pretty much instantly, it's like there'll come to a point where I may raise my voice to one of my daughters for no reason, but I'll be like, honey, come here, and I'll fix it, whereas it will be like, she'll get over it. When she needs something, she'll come back to me and things will be all right again. Daddy will buy her a doll and it'll be sorted. So yeah, it's if I was still in that mode, I would have dragged it on. I've had so many wins. We were trying to count up all my firsts, right? Right from my first cutting an onion to my first full body, massage, and first time in America. There's so many firsts. It's been crazy.
What about business? How's business changed? What have been the wins there?
The wins are I've got rid of all the crap people in my business, people that were just sucking the life out of it. I've got a great team now, a team of literally a band of brothers, and it's a pleasure literally to employ them and for them to work with me.
How's that affected the productivity?
Oh, massively. We have a 20% increase on every single machine we operate, which is huge in our numbers. We've reverse engineered pretty much every aspect of the business, hitting our targets, and everyone is. I've got my salespeople to start doing meditation on a daily basis to try and get them calm before they go into meetings and to see the customers. Whereas before they'd be running, especially when the London guys, because they're going from one place to another and the hot underground and all that. You just got to take a minute and relax, allocate time for that. Sales have been up, which is good. I've got rid of all the annoying, painful customers, the ones that just suck the life out of you, but who I felt that I needed, which I don't. Running after the low margin ones, and they're the most biggest pains in the arse, which I'm sure everybody else in the group can agree. It's been amazing. We've had some great successes worldwide. In big success in Dubai, which was an amazing start to the year for me and the business.
What was that?
That was in February.
What was it?
Oh, it was a. So I had a meeting 12 months ago. Well, 2018 February. I had a meeting planned up. I went in, whole presentation ready. Spent nights and weeks on it. Got out there, made sure I stayed at a nice hotel. Just made sure I was ready for it. Nothing's going to stop me getting this order. Nothing's going to make me get in with these guys. Sat down around the table, meeting. Literally, I felt like a punch bag, but it only lasted 2 minutes because they asked me to basically, we're done here. And their words were, we'll call you, don't call us. We're not interested at the moment. And I was like, wow, And I remember just sitting back thinking in the cab, going back to my hotel, thinking, I've spent all this money to be here. And within 2 minutes, they've just said no to me. And I felt like shit. Yeah. And I literally had only one meeting there as well. I didn't even bother having a second one or anything else, but I thought, this is a done deal. You know, and I have the meeting out of my hands. Fast forward, I decided to tell them, look, I need another. Well, it was through the Alpha Reset where they said to me that I should look at presenting again and see what happens. I thought, that's not going to happen. They pretty much hate my guts, but did it anyway. They said, yeah, we'll see you. I was like, wow, cool. That was a win itself, right? And then I turned up and I walked in and I went in with the presence and the mindset which I've learned just only 2-3 months into it, you know, because from December to February is only 2 months. And with Christmas break and everything else, I had a lot of things trying to rattle me, get me back into my old state of mind, but I kept my cool, kept my composure, did my thing, used a special gift that Doug gives out to everybody, the Alpha Resets. And man, blew them away. The meeting lasted 2 hours, right? So from 2 minutes to 2 hours, which is great. And walked away with a 6-figure order from them. I thank you very much. And the latest is from this morning. They've asked me to come see them again.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'll fly out next week.
Oh wow! Wow!
Yeah.
So what, are they going to double their order? Do you think, or what's going to go on there?
I reckon that because they've had a taste of it, they're going to give me a whole other section of their business, which is the airports, which is huge. So
Wow.
it's going to be massive.
And the thing there, right? The only thing from obviously 2018 to 2019, the difference was you, right? Because you showed the same collection, the same people.
Yeah. The catalog still says 2018 on it. Even today, it still says 2018 on it. For this year. I didn't change a single thing.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So let me get this right. So 2018, when you were coming from this place where all you thought was, I've got to work harder, sleep 4 hours a night, work harder, get more work done. My life's not working. I've got to try more in my business, get some business coaching, push there, less time with the family. I can buy them, I can pay them off. Mm-hmm. That obviously resulted in a meeting with those people where they said, don't call us, we'll call you.
Yeah. And
then when you change your strategy and actually start looking at yourself instead of your business as the problem and the opportunity, do the work on yourself with the same people, with the same collection, you end up landing a 6-figure deal, which is now going to turn to, it sounds like a multi-6-figure deal.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. So what about with your family? How have things changed there? Your wife and kids?
Oh, my kids absolutely love and adore their dad. I am their hero, and I've never got to be that before, and it's amazing. You know, I've missed chunks of their lives, definitely. But you know, it's when I'm with them, you know, no phone, nothing else. And, you know, and it's got to a point now where if I'm holding my phone, the daughter's come over to me like, Daddy, we're here, you're holding your phone. I'm like, oh, sorry. Because they know that no phone, just us, you know. And it's great. And they're so, you know, they see everyone in the brotherhood as uncles, because I've got pictures of you guys and everything like that. They call you Uncle Tim and Uncle Doug, Uncle Arthur. And you know, they basically just, you know, when they say, what does Uncle Tim do? I go, Uncle Tim fixes people. So now they go around telling people, that looks like Uncle Tim, he fixes people. You know, and that's amazing. Which you did, you know, for me you did, and you know that, and I've told you many times privately and publicly that the effects that you guys have had on my life, you know, the amazing change for which we are in debt to you guys as a family, to you guys. But no, they're amazing. The relationship with my wife is fantastic. I mean, yesterday, you know, it was 2:00 in the afternoon. I said, what do you want to do? She goes, oh, shall we go out? I said, let's go to the movies. We've not been to the movies in years. So we went to the cinema. We went the whole cinema to ourselves. You know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. We're spending a lot of time together. I'm teaching her to swim, which is cool.
Oh, shit. Wow.
Yeah. We're having, it's great. You know, relationship with my parents, you know, not everyone's going to go where you're going. something that we always say.
Yeah.
But they are, they're beginning to see it. For them, change isn't good. Any sort of change isn't good. But I think they're respecting it now. Definitely respecting it now, and they know what I'm like, and they mention to me about things and how different I am, and I own it. I'm really happy with it. It's been the impact I've had, and the fact that I see the confidence in my kids. I posted in the Brotherhood the other day, one of my daughters standing on stage doing her assembly. This is before they broke up. So this was back in June. She's standing on stage doing her end of year assembly, and she puts her hand in a pocket before it's her lines, and she sprinkles a bit of dust on her, and she does the thing. And I sent a picture to Doug, and he was like, wow, it's amazing. So they are learning from what I have learned, and it's amazing. My daughter's sitting in the dentist chair, having a tooth taken out. I'm scared shitless. That's something I can't hide. I'm not good at hiding it. And she just says to me, don't worry, Dad. You're a powerful man and I'm a powerful girl, so I can handle it. I was like, oh my God, my baby.
Wow.
I literally held her in my arms, and I was like, wow, things are great. I mean, I could go on and on and on. I just,
I mean, the thing is that the kids follow you what you do, not what you say, right? So 2018, as well as this, getting basically that business deal falling through, as well as that, one of the turning points for you was seeing one of your kids almost have she started having panic attacks, didn't she? One of your daughters, because that's the point that you had gotten to, and they started to watch your behavior and copy your behavior. So, that the path you're on then, Omar, was very destructive, not only to yourself, but your kids as well. Now, look at that now. You've gone from your kids all having panic attacks and becoming anxious and fearful because the father's not there, and that's when he's there, that's how he behaves, to your kids being on stage, sprinkling dust, saying, hey, don't you worry about me, Daddy, you're a powerful man. That's huge.
It is. I mean, they used to call me Angry Dad, like Angry Birds, but I was Angry Dad back then.
Wow.
They said, oh, Angry Dad.
How did that make you feel? Did you just ignore it? What did you do? Because
I just thought, they're just kids. They don't know what they're saying. They're just being like that. It's just what they're saying. Then I said to my wife, "Am I really that angry?" And she said, "Yeah." And I'll be like, "Oh, what do you know?" And I'll just carry on doing what I'm doing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not a nice thing to hear, but that's the reality. That's how they see it. I used to catch my oldest daughter shouting at her younger sisters, the twins, and telling them that she's busy, not right now. And that is just literally echoing how I would say, like, I'm busy, not right now, go. And she would say
just
that
5 more minutes.
Irritated. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, we talk about men being stuck in the void and what systematically moving through the 5 agonies, right? And the first one is greed. It's where no matter how much money you make, no matter how much you achieve, no matter how much success you have, or homes, or holidays, or cars, or watches, or clothes, whatever, there's this void where you're not satisfied. You're still not satisfied. And over time, as that eats away at you, because you've got all the things that you thought were going to be the answer. You've worked hard, you've got the money, and you thought this is what you needed to do in order to be the man. And when you're the man, you're confident and you're happy and you're relaxed, and your wife wants to have sex with you, your kids want to be around you. But it just doesn't happen that way, for the most part, anyway. So then you start to experience greed, and then because you can't figure out how to get out of it, you go to the second one, which is anger, because you have all this pent-up frustration that you don't know what to do with, and it usually comes out in ways that are very out of character, snapping at the kids, or a short word to the wife, or whatever it is. And then what often happens is we feel ashamed because we're treating people in a way that we know we don't want to treat them and they don't deserve it. So then we start to pull ourselves away. That then leads to the 4th agony of loneliness, where we isolate ourselves from our friends and our family and our loved ones because we just don't know how to be. It's just easier for them not to be around us. It's easier for us to go and work. We retreat to work and spend more time there because the business doesn't answer back. We're in control there. Nothing's being reflected back to us there that makes us look less than the man that we know we want to be. And finally, it leads to uncertainty because you know you're burying your head in the sand. You don't know how long it can continue. You know your wife's not going to put with it forever. You know that your kids are going to probably want to be around you by the time they're 11, 12, 13 if this continues. The business can't continue as it is. But you've done what you thought you needed to do, getting the business coaching, sleeping 4 hours a night, just pushing more, and it's not working. And you end up feeling lost. And we see it every time with the men. That's the process that the men go through by which they arrive at the activation method because they've exhausted every other option. The money, the business coaching, the therapy, the homes, the holidays, the watches, the women, everything. It sounds like you went through that process.
Oh, I definitely did. I definitely did.
So, what advice? Any of these guys that are watching this, whether in the Facebook group or elsewhere, that have stumbled across this, and they are in a position just like you were in 2018. Business is producing more chaos than cash. Marriage is, they're buying their wife at very best.
Yep.
Ignoring the kids. Their health has just been neglected. What advice would you give to them?
If someone had told me a few years ago that it starts with you, firstly, I would have laughed at them. But if it was said enough times to me, I would have paid some attention to it. That I was the problem. It's not the business. It's not the businessman. It's the man who's a businessman. It comes back to you, the man behind it all. It all starts with you. I can say it as much as I can, but you need to believe it. You need to understand that it starts with you, because not everything around you is wrong and you're right, but it's all happening to you because you're a victim or you're owed something and it's not happening, and you want to be in a pity party. And being part of a Facebook group called A Powerful Man isn't something, people might just be sitting there thinking that they don't need help, but they just want to be a part of it because it sounds cool, or it is, it's just some sort of group that you just join for the hell of it, and you might get some. This is for self-development, and it starts with self, and everyone needs to understand that the problem is you, whatever it may be. It starts with you, and if you can't be honest with yourself and true to yourself, then you've got a lot of work to do, and you need to open up your eyes and literally see it for what it is. That's that. If someone could tell me, someone could slap me on the face and say, it's you. It's not your wife not doing X, Y, Z. It's not the kids disturbing you. It's not the business. It's not this client running off with your money or anything like that. It all comes down to how you are. You do things from a certain way, from a certain perspective, it's going to shit on you. It starts from you. So I would urge or literally beg you guys to just look within yourselves. Forget everyone else. Forget the business. Forget everyone. Forget the kids and the wife for a moment. Think about yourself and find inside yourself what's going wrong or what you need to fix, because it's definitely in there. And everyone knows deep down what it is. Everyone knows. It's just a matter of the right channels to try and work on it.
Firm advice.
You know what?
I've always been nice to the guys, beating around the bush, letting them come to the conclusion themselves, and you just went boom in for the kill. But you're right. To be honest, you are.
Yeah, because it's frustrating.
These guys. Yeah, and to be honest, though, I'd rather you be honest and real, because a lot of the time the people around the men don't do them the favor of being real with them about what's going on. And sometimes what can happen is, we have guys enjoying the activation method because they've ignored the warning signs. They've left it too late, and they come home one night and on the table over there is a letter with the wife's handwriting on, addressed to them, and it's the divorce papers. At which point, like, holy shit, I've got to do. But it's too late. It's too late by that point. You know, your wife would have given you many different opportunities and warnings leading up to that point. But like you said, when your wife said you're angry, you're like, oh yeah, what do you know? You know, I'd rather you be real and you know, call the men forward and call them out. Quite honestly, in in the help of serving them. You know, you're saving the marriage, serving the business, everything. I'd rather you do that.
We've had guys, I've witnessed this in my own eyes and ears at the activation, at their alpha reset, sitting there, and they're saying, I'm 2 weeks away from having an affair or losing my marriage or whatever. You know, your whole world is about to crumble around you, and you think it's absolutely fine, everything's normal. My business is the problem. You think it's X, Y, Z, that's the problem. You know, it's I get frustrated. And the reason why I'm being so direct and in your face is because it bothers me, because I have seen both sides of it. I've been where most of all 1,500 guys, I've been there. You know, everyone's got different problems. I'm not saying I've got the same issues or whatever, but we've all at that point where we feel we can handle this. We can't handle shit on our own. And that's the truth. You can't. Because where's that got you till now? I thought I was the man at 33 years old. I thought, I've got this. I can handle it. Bring it on. I've got this. I've got this. I've got this. I didn't have nothing. I surround myself with people who push me, pull me in the direction that I need to go. I've got to do the work. No one does the work for you. You've got to do the work. But step up and realize that you have a problem, firstly. And secondly, know that you can't do it alone. It gets you nowhere. It gets you nowhere.
I agree. You know, I was there too. For many years, I thought I could handle it on my own. I thought I had a business problem. I invested tens of thousands into the marketing and the staff and the systems and, you know, everything but me. I'd listen to audiobooks everywhere I drove. You know, I was a perfect student. Every bit of spare time, I'd be plugged into audiobooks, you know, learning. But a lot of those messages were around perseverance and motivation and just keep going and push harder. But the thing that I found was that just got me more of what I already had. And, you know, the definition of insanity is, you know, doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And so often we can just get so lost in the action that we don't even realize that, holy shit, I've been doing this same thing now for 2 years, 3 years. The progress I've made is marginal in my marriage, or I've gone backwards. My business has grown a little bit, but, you know, if I actually look at the data, it's not really doing as well as it could do. And I'm nowhere near living up to my potential. But it requires you to just take a step back and just look at things for a second, get some perspective, and then be able to move rather than just being so busy on the go all the time. You know, a problem, like Einstein said, I love this quote, a problem cannot be solved at the same level of thinking that created it. It just can't. And if you don't know what to do to solve the problem, then like Omar said, get help. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not weakness. It doesn't mean you've failed. It's actually the smart thing to do. If you can invest in yourself to get support with somebody, lean on a system that's going to save you time, money, and energy, and actually make you time, money, and energy. Like Omar landed, you know, 6-figure deal. So your investment actually made you 6 figures on that one deal, 20% production, you know, your marriage. And, you know, so you then use that to produce an ROI, right? So
it costs you more not to do it. Sorry to cut you there, Tim, but it costs you more not to do it, because you've got a big hole in your bucket right now, and you're just leaking, right? You're doing nothing to fill it up. You're just trying to add more water into your bucket, and it's just pouring out of you. You've got to block your hole. The only way you're going to block your hole is to get help. Simple.
Yep, I'd agree. So guys, you know, if you want to find out more about how the activation method and the alpha reset might work for you, then head over to thepowerfulman.com/breakthrough. You can book in a 20-minute call with me. And we'll just take 20 minutes to find out more about where you are, where you want to be, what you need to get there. And if at the end of it, it makes sense, we can help you cool and move along. If not, then that's fine as well. We'll point you in the direction of somewhere or someone that can. Omar, I think you sat on the sidelines for 3 or 4 months debating whether to get on a call. In the end, you just messaged me and say, just tell me how much it is. And eventually you actually got on a 20-minute call, and then you were like, oh my God. But 4 months, all that time you wasted, that's 4 months of arguments and, anxiety and, all those other problems that you could have avoided. But, no point. I won't change anything because obviously you're here now and you achieved some great things. So good for you, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Right, guys. Thank you for joining us live and on the replay. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. Myself and Omar will be happy to answer those. And you will see Omar in the Facebook community as well. He is not a cheerleader he is kind of a cheerleader for the powerful man. He's not getting paid. He is simply a man within the Brotherhood who has attended lots of alpha resets and seen the effect it has on men's life, and he wants to give back. He's very passionate about helping men and their families. And this is, the way he's able to do that. So if you see him in there posting, sharing, calling you out, calling you forward, he does it with love.
I do. Honestly, I do. And you guys can reach me personally as well. I'm more than happy to be with you guys. I'm sure Lee's the same. Reach out to us.
Perfect. Okay, guys, have a great day. Have a great weekend wherever you're watching this. Omar, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim.
I'll speak to you guys soon.